Hey, 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 hey. Have I done it? Oh, you're already watching. Hey. And hey. Hey, here's my today's guest. Hey, Ash, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Great. How else can I be? So, for those of you who don't know, maybe a little bit introduction. I always get like slightly scared when I start like streaming live. I'm like, oh, people see me. Oh.
I get like, what this about? But you know what you're going to talk about.
Uh-huh. So, people. Ashleigh, she's also like manifestation coach from Australia. It's like evening
Yeah.
for her, and it's still quite early morning for me. And so that's like that time difference will be always mind blowing for me. I guess that will never change. So she's the manifestation coach from Australia, and she's one of the very, she's one of the few manifestation coaches that I had in my manifesting business program. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do interviews with all of them on this very general topic that is, how did manifesting change your life? And let's see what are we going to talk about in the end. Hey to all of you who are joining, because yeah, there's like more and more of you. So hey, one more time. Open question. How did manifesting change your life?
So many ways. I mean, I guess the biggest for me is the awareness that I have of like myself, and,
Mm-hmm.
just where my focus is and where my focus has been and how it's manifested in my life. So I and I'm still working on it now, but it's like being someone who was very victim mentality. So it was like everything was
Mm-hmm.
like pull this and that and rah, rah, not realizing prior to law of assumption and manifestation that I was actually creating. So that in itself was like a big thing. So that was a big like pill to swallow, because
Mm-hmm.
I've created all of this. No one else has done it. It's all me. So it's had to like I've had to take responsibility, for myself and as I said, that reality. Um, which is hard. Like it can be hard. Like I'm not perfect. I'm nowhere near perfect. I'm still definitely working on it. But I find that when I get in that mood now, like, in that state, I get really annoyed with myself. Like it's I don't get like down in the dumps or anything. I'm like, oh my God, like I know better than this. And I get really annoyed because I'm like, no, just like snap
Mm-hmm.
out of it. So it's just really interesting to observe that and just like, yeah, just as I said, the overall awareness of me, and just who I am day to day and where my focus is. And yeah, it's just so many things. And it's a lot of fun. Like I tend to
Uh-huh.
even like clients and like followers and stuff like that, I have a very big focus on making it fun because it can be, you know, we can be so very like hard on ourselves with, it's like, oh, my manifestation's not here yet. I haven't experienced it. It's not in my 3D, and I've been like, you just
Mm-hmm.
need to make it fun. Right. So, everyone has their big manifestations and their little manifestations, even though they're all just the same thing. But I I teach people to, play around with it. Like manifest the small things, manifest the coffee, manifest the, being given a gift. Like, I've got my TikTok account and just on the weekend just gone, it's like it's been Easter. So I put like a challenge video out there and I was like, you know what? Today you're going to manifest receiving an Easter egg. Right. And so like I put that out there and I was just like, just play around with it. You don't know how you're going to receive it, but just know that you're going to receive an Easter egg. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I just do little stuff like that just to kind of build up people's awareness that they're creating. Like they want to receive something, they've got to know that they're going to receive it. How? Matter. When? Doesn't really matter either, but it's just the knowing that you're going to get it.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
So,
that's the
yeah.
mind shift. That's this mind shift I see mostly between, yeah, love of assumption and love of attraction. From getting
Mm-hmm.
from, oh my God, I'm like attracting stuff and there's me and I'm
Yeah.
like attracting stuff. Like, where is it? Because I need it to finally knowing that, yeah, it's like all me. It's all me manifesting itself, like creating itself, right? And that's why. And I know that people for sure ask you also, yeah, how to stay faithful to what you want, to your manifestation, to stay persisting in it. But
Yeah.
the thing is, that's not hard at all because yeah, you're not persisting in having your manifestation when you don't have it because that can make you loopy, all right? You're persisting into like being someone who already has everything that you need to have. And then again, I was laughing so badly when you said about your story with victim mentality and people starting to type in the comments that they can relate. If you are watching it right now, by the way, you haven't, yeah, like let us know if you can relate. If you like came here to knowing this, knowing the level of assumption from, yeah, being a victim of everything and
Yeah.
everyone around.
Yeah. It's definitely
Mm-hmm.
so do, you know, like going through your day and something, you know, unfortunate happens or something that you don't want to admit that you manifested or take responsibility for manifesting. You're like, oh no, like I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't purposely manifest something terrible or bad or happen to me. But it's like, well, you did. Like on some level, you have done that because you create everything. And it can be scary to have to take responsibility for that. But
Mm-hmm.
I find people that, yeah, it can be scary. However, it's actually so powerful because it's like knowing that you've created something that you don't want quite easily. You
Mm-hmm.
can easily create what you do want.
Yeah. But you really know, and I know that you already know it, that it's not like the thoughts, not like what I think about, it's the state. Because I can push the thoughts about something like, wow, really far, all right? And
Yeah.
like avoid thinking about things and so on, and still that manifests. And also, it's not really scary when you already know how does manifestation work. That's what I'm huge about teaching, to understand how does it work, because then there's no place for a fear like that, because you just know what you are manifesting. You're just
Yeah.
aware of
Yeah.
it. It's that awareness that you started with, so last sentence.
Yeah. No, and like I know that like with your style of coaching, you don't emphasize on, you know, your thoughts creating. However, for me and my style, I know about the knowing and like you can just decide that you're in this state. However, for me, I like to use the thoughts because when you're in a state, and again, this is my own take on it, when you're in a state, you will have thoughts that back that state
Yes.
until it becomes a fact. So it's like I like to use, you know, affirmations or thoughts or something like that, you know, to get you to remind you that you're already in that state. So it's like if you want to be in a state of, you know, freedom and wealth and you're not used to that, your mind is going to be like, well, we're not in that state. So you want to kind of remind yourself with, as I said, affirmations. You're not going to have to do it all the time, but it's like you want to have these things to be like, no, I am wealthy. Like I just want to remind myself of that. Does that make sense? And that's just something that I like to use. As I said, I know that like you're not big on affirmations and stuff like that, but that's just what I like to use. So
yeah, I know that as you change your state, your like thoughts that fit to that state, they just like appear anyway. I'm just talking about not being, scared of chasing, thinking about something, because that can be really, really crazy, especially with being fearful of the thoughts. Oh my God, I just thought about something, and oh my God, right now that will happen. And I remember like being like believing in things like that. Yeah. And this fear that, oh my God, something, and of course something negative that I just thought about, right, will happen to me was so overpowering that I wasn't able to notice that that wasn't true. And that actually I don't have an experience of things like that happening. And at the same time, I believe that, oh my God, I just thought about something positive, something I want happening to me, but that didn't mean that it's going to happen to me. All right, I need to think about it more and like work on my own vibrations and like being a like better person, and like give my salary to the poor people. And then maybe it still wasn't sure. That was what I had in my head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, it's like I do make going just have to think of something once and it's going to manifest. Because could you imagine the world if that happened? Like you have one thought in it, like, and it just shows up in your 3D. It would be absolute chaos. Like the whole world would be. It would be so. So, like, I don't mean that. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't mean that you have one thought and it's just gonna. I understand that, like, manifest.
I know. Sorry, I know that you don't mean that, but I know that someone who can still watch us can be thinking about it. Oh yeah.
That's why I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah. Go on. Go on.
Yeah. No. Definitely not. No. It's just like the dominant thoughts that take over, like the beliefs that you have. Again, that's just my take on it. But with that, I can see how, the states that you have, you can just shift. Something that I remember you teaching me was you just decide, like you just make the decision that you're in a state, and then everything can change. And it's such a simple concept. And like I found my brain being like, it can't be that simple. Like it can't. I just decide that, say I'm wealthy. I can't just decide that, but
you can. Yeah.
Like we're not taught to be like that. To be like, yeah, today I'm this. Like, and today this is my day. Like, we're not taught that. It's like you can think that, but like, oh no, that's not true. Like, that's not going to be true. That's not true for you, but it is. Like, and that's the fact that it's just you just make a decision, and that's just who you get to. Like that's
and the rest is just staying faithful to that decision, not being like, oh my God, so I felt rich for 1 hour, but then I logged into my account and the money was still not there. So, that means it doesn't work. So, like, don't do it. That's cultural vision, people. Don't do it. Don't do it in this way, in this direction.
Yeah. When I first started really looking into and learning about law of assumption, like it took me a lot to understand it. And I'm still learning today. Like I'm still like decoding Neville's work, I guess, to put it into simple understanding. but at the same time, it's so exciting because it's like the more that I read, the more I listen to stuff, I'm like, it just sinks in and things click more and more and more. And
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Fun. So I said, like, my biggest thing with teaching this is bringing the fun out in it. Because I find with this, we put so much emphasis on our desires and, the life that we want that we lose the fun in it. And I've done that myself. Like, I've felt and had days where I'm like, this isn't fun. Like, I'm serious. So, yeah, I want to focus on the fun side of it. So,
Yeah. I see two basic mistakes, like advanced people, like people who are advanced with manifestation do. And one is chasing the manifesting shopping list thing, meaning, oh yeah, what I want next, what like physical things, objects, all right, or experience, like single experience, like going for a trip, something I want. And that gets so boring after a while. It's so exciting when you start, but then you feel like, okay, and then people lose it. Then people lose it and kind of like go back to their like own habit because they have feelings, but there's no actual change in their life. And I also see people just playing with the mind shifts, just the different perspectives they can have on life, but never staying in anything for long enough to actually manifest a change again. There are so many people interested in manifestation, people who have success with manifestation, but who aren't like really changing their life to their liking. And it's not because they are not able to, they are, right? But because they are settling, stopping themselves, thinking, oh my God, that can be too much. Oh no, I can do it. I can just decide that I'm like that.
yeah. Yeah. It's almost like that it's too simple. Like, yeah, like a thing I can put it down to is people, it's too simple. It can't be that simple. Like, they're waiting for the catch or waiting for something to, like, no, that's not gonna happen. But yeah, but like, I like what you're saying with, it's not about the thing. That's something else that I like to educate. Like, yes, like you said, going on trips or having the extra money or, manifesting a new job or a career or a relationship, whatever it is wanting, like, that's amazing to have those experiences. But it is about self. Like, and in all of, Neville's work, he always spoke about the changes in self. Like, it's always about self. And I think people can forget that as well. I mean, I know I have, like, I have, like, I've put focus on, the material things, the physical things that I've moments or, even longer than just a moment of forgetting that it's actually about my transformation. Yeah, and it is easy to do. Like, it is easy to do that too. So it's such a interesting journey, like, thing. It really, like, it's almost, when I really think about it, it's like I can't put words on it because it's very transformative in so many different ways.
It is. I was pondering about it this Easter, right? Because in like Neville's Goddard's like Easter is what the celebration of the change of self, like being reborn. And I found myself thinking about how actually I changed since I started this journey here. And how was it comparing to my past? Because I was like born like crazy spiritual person. I was into like crazy stuff like that since I was 6 or even earlier. Right, when I was 10, I was like reading all of those esoteric magazines and stuff, and I was doing so many techniques, rituals, and all of that. But nothing really gave me such a huge change in me, in how I feel myself, and also my like outside world, my 3D world, like manifestation.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like yourself, like I have a spiritual background. Um, but I like to incorporate that in my work. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I still call myself a psychic. I am a medium. I am an energy healer. But like I utilize that all together. So like I like morph it all together into the way that
Mm-hmm.
I educate, knowing that, you know, when it comes to like tarot readings and stuff like that, it's, you know, the manifestation in the clients and stuff like that. But it's I don't look down upon it. It's like, because it's my reality, so I'm going to give it the meaning that I want to in my life. So, and same with like rituals and stuff like that. You know, I I know that they're not necessary. However, if I feel for myself or I have clients that for themselves they want to do something like that, then I encourage it, because again, it's their reality. Who am I to say what they want to do, right? I can educate, but at the end of the day, it's still their choice. But as I said, like I like to bring all of my knowledge with everything and just morph it into my own style for my life.
What would be the main thing, your main message, your main manifestation reason, of course, message you would like to share with the world and you would like to everyone to know?
Oh, I would like earlier, I would like to be able to let people know that they can step out of mentality into their own power and be the
Mm-hmm.
creator of however that wants, like however they want that to look. Um, yeah, and have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's probably the easiest way I can put it.
That's great. That's really great. I have only one, concern, that quite general one, that I had no idea that I was staying, lacking, persisting, manifesting from a victim mentality since I overcome it. That,
Mhm.
yeah, when we are in it, we don't really know, we don't even want to know that it's all us.
Yeah.
That it's not like those people hating me. It's what I'm imagining about them. And I
Yeah.
was able to, yeah, or like everyone, when you already know, I probably suffer for victim things, hood and thoughts, right? Then you're already over it, and you're on the edge of being over it because we can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's also the huge take on learning about states. When we are able to notice that everything we act from, that we call, oh yeah, I am just like that, that's what I do, that's a state. When we know that, then we can so easily shift between other states and shift into those states that we want, because we can able to notice that, yeah, what I think was me was only a suit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, like, because again, as you said, being in a state, like, aware that you're in that state until someone can bring it to your awareness, or you find the awareness within yourself. So it's really interesting until you're like, it's almost like you need to be out of that state to notice that you've been in that state.
Yeah, kind of, right?
Yeah.
That's why also for everyone watching here, a huge tip on being in the state. If you're wondering if you are in the state, then probably you're not.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, yeah. 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 It's like if you have to ask the
Mm-hmm.
question, it's probably aren't
Yeah,
there.
yeah, that's like probably not.
Yeah. I like that. That's
Like not
good.
100%, but like in most of cases, yeah, that's what's going on.
Mm-hmm. So good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, as I said, that stuck with me is that you just taught me is just you can just decide. Like you can just decide what state you want to be in. And the other one being is you just remind yourself you're not out of the state. So like,
Mm-hmm.
as I think you said it couple of weeks ago, it's like if you are in the state of being a business owner, you're not actually out of that state. You can still be doing other things, but you're not out of that
Mm-hmm.
state. Like you don't
Yeah,
have that state.
because still, like all our states that consist us, like me, Koti, and like you, Ashleigh, they are linked. They influence each other. I really see it that way. That's why my state of big business owner will be different, will act different, do different things than your state of being a business owner. All right? Because some people have this idea last Friday, I had this live on stage, and you can, if you missed it, you can catch it, you can catch up on it. Right? It's free and easy to find and so on. Yeah, but some people have this thing that they have the plateau idea on states, that there is just some form that exists like somewhere outside of me, and I can jump into it and stay in it. Yeah, I don't know if you had the same, if it was the same for you, but but for me it was like certainly it. I wanted to jump into the state, stay in it.
Yeah, I have. And yeah, it's interesting because it's like when you think that once you're like in it, it's going to be such a big difference. Like you're going to, like you literally jump into this state and it's just going to, I don't know, different or be different or something. It can be really subtle as well, or like it doesn't even have to feel different. Like it just is. Yeah. It's funny. Like,
I hope you don't mind me telling it, but when we had our one-on-one, and you chose to play with the state of giraffe, and I will always remember your reaction, because like, I'm interested in trees. I was never interested in trees. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. My car, like, I remember I was like, yep, I'm gonna look at the leaves and the trees and stuff, like driving my car,
Uh-huh.
but paying attention to, and it sounds really bad when I say it because I'm driving,
Yeah.
but oh, like, oh, trees, they're nice trees. And I was like, why am I interested in the trees? But yeah, it's because I'd made the decision that I was a giraffe. But that
Mm-hmm.
was really self too. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
a big, it was, like I said, it wasn't a big change. It was a very subtle change, but it was enough to notice. I actually forgot about that
Mm-hmm.
exercise.
Most of the times we change our state
Mhm.
is subtle on the beginning,
Mhm.
and then it gets like stronger and stronger and stronger because also the 3D manifestation starts follow. Because if
Mhm.
I will decide right now that I'm going to be, give me some idea, um, a rock star,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? It's yeah, just like crazy on the very beginning, like with like no idea how to even like go about it, all right? But if I will be consistently making that choice, like staying in it, then yeah, finally there will be enough like 3D manifestations, including like my albums and my agents and like the tour on what and like whatever, all right? That will be helping me to stay in it. But yeah, not really. Like, don't people be scared. I'm not going to manifest it because I know how I think. But yeah, there's one thing like really needed. Tomorrow I will be making a live about persistence for those like here. All right, there's one thing that is really needed to persist in a certain state, and that is a desire for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I can shift into the state of like, yeah, famous rock hours and a couple of days, but then I will be naturally out of it. Why? Because I have no genuine desire to be one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. That's really true. You know, it's like as a different way of saying that is like find, I guess, finding the reason why you want to do something, or as you said, like the desires, like the more, I guess, reasons that you feel that you want to do something, be like in a certain state, like a rock star, for example. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of gives you that backing to want to stay there and actually become it, as opposed to
Mm-hmm.
just having the idea and it's like, oh yeah, this feels nice for a little bit, and then not persisting in it because you can, like, that's, I guess, the difference between fully creating it, just temporarily experiencing it.
Mm-hmm. Does anyone have any questions for us, for me, for Ashleigh, about states, persistence, manifestation, where to find you? You can tell us right now where to find you, or what's your TikTok, what's your book, because you published a book, an ebook recently.
I did too. Yeah, I actually forgot about that too. I shouldn't have forgotten about that. So I my TikTok account, a lot of my content is on there. My TikTok is mystic.ashmarie. So Marie is spelt how it is in my Instagram name as well. I have written a ebook of mystical manifestation, which is Law of Assumption 101. So I go through and just explain, you know, my take on Law of Assumption, you know, with explanations and examples and stuff like that. So yeah, that's available in the link in my bio on my Instagram and in my TikTok.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I will of course, link it everything down. I'm just looking, scrolling up here if there was any questions for us. But not really. Looks like we don't really have any questions. So if someone is typing, type faster, because if not, that will be the end of this meeting. And actually, really thank you for showing up here today.
Oh, thank you.
And having that conversation with me. I love so much to talk about other people, but also different takes on manifestation and how it works, because yeah, it just something that everyone should know.
I definitely, yeah, it is definitely something that everyone should know and play around with and experience for themselves, because it is so much fun. Like it really is. And you know, it like a powerful state to be in. Like speaking of states, like it is a state of power. Which is, yeah, like I can't put words on it, on how it actually feels. But yeah, if you're not doing it already, just do it.
Yeah. Okay, one more time. Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you who showed up here, watched us, stayed from the beginning to the end, and also to all of you who will be watching the replays everywhere, anywhere you will watch the replays. Thank you so much. You know where to find Ashleigh if you want to work with her, buy her ebook, or just, yeah, check out her content. You're welcome. So thank you one more time so much.
Thank you.
And see you again.
Yes, I'm sure I'll see you soon. And have an amazing day, because it's morning for you.
Have an amazing evening. Thank you.